since about 6th grade. Yeah, my parents got me my first rap album around then, which was a Jibs album, the Chain Hang Low on it, because they got it for me because he didn't say any cuss words in the songs. So then that kind of got me into, I knew all my friends were listening to rap, which made me want it. Then they got me that album, and it just kind of took off from there, because then I heard it and I figured, hey, if he's doing it, why can't I do it? And then, I mean, Jibs was kind of just the first person I heard. Who really inspired me was like Kanye, probably, because then the album after that was Graduation, which is to this day my favorite album of all time.
So Late Registration was the one that influenced you, rather than College Dropout?
No, Graduation was
just Graduation.
Yeah, just Graduation. I mean, Kanye as an artist does, but that album Graduation specifically was one that really influenced me. It still is my favorite album to this day. And then, you know, guys like Lil Wayne, who was in his prime really when we were in middle school or high school, and kind of really getting into hip hop. So I think those two are probably my biggest influences. The biggest struggles, personally, probably is just exposure, man. I mean, and I feel like any up and coming artist can kind of talk about exposure being a struggle, but I mean, especially in Indianapolis, you know, it's not in LA or in New York or even in Chicago, so it's a little harder. I mean, they're definitely out. Don't get me wrong, there are outlets to get out there, but just, you know, you don't have the connections here that you do in say like in LA or in New York. So
why do you think it's like that? Like, what do you think perpetuates that system where you've got these cities that keep producing artist after artist, and then you have?
I mean, I feel like because you know they're bigger cities, obviously, and so then, you know, the mindset that started is let's kind of migrate to those places to create this music, or to find those connections to create the music. So you know, and people don't really, you know, want to make music and think, oh, let's go to Indianapolis. You know, right. nobody really thinks that, but so I feel like just kind of the reputation those cities have gained for themselves to be a place where you can go and meet a lot of people, create a lot of music, get a lot of exposure. I think that's why people might go there. I think if we really can hone in on, and it doesn't have to be as a collective, but if we can each hone in on sounds that, you know, provide a Indianapolis sound as a group, like of different artists coming up with their sounds, but maybe you know, hearing a sound that's just different than everything else coming from like a Chicago or a New York or an East Coast or a West Coast. Is more like, I mean, a Midwest, I guess, kind of has a sound, but if Indianapolis itself could really develop a sound to grab people's attention, because I mean, if you have like an Atlanta sound, like what's really popping right now, it's like people are gonna be like, oh, they have an Atlanta sound, you know, they're gonna relate you to that city. If Indianapolis develops a sound, which I don't know what that could be right now, hopefully it's something that I can be a part of, but I feel like if we can really focus in on developing a sound that's not like a lot of other people's, then that's gonna put us on the map. It's a little bit of all that, but a lot of times it's just, I feel like the outlets that we have as a city that, you know, we can really rely on, that aren't the caliber of outlets, say in an LA or New York, aren't utilized enough, like the radio, like you were saying. It's like that's one of our biggest outlets for maybe people that aren't regional to hear us. And I mean, besides the internet, because, you know, now I feel like the internet's almost tainted with, you know, it's the way to upload your music. But, you know, with the internet, everyone's an artist. You know, everyone is an artist. Everyone can go on SoundCloud, upload whatever, tell you to look at it. And so then you know, if somebody has been told too many times to check out somebody's page, they're not gonna want to check out mine, even if it might be miles better than the last guy. They're gonna say, oh, he's, you know, everyone's an artist, so why should I look at his? He's probably no different than the last 10 who told me to. But I feel like if people, or if the radio puts local artists on more often, which I feel like they don't do any or enough of right now, and then the public hears that without, you know, having to be told to hear it, then I feel like that could really push people to the next level.